Excuse me.
আমার এটা নিয়ে আসছে, গরম জলের এটা নিয়ে আসতে হবে, যেটা আছে ফ্লাস্কটা।
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after the launch of the 4th session in the 5-day faculty development program on census technology organized by the Department of Physics, the University of Bardhaman. The program is sponsored by AICT Training and Learning Academy, ATAL Academy, and it is, as you all know, this is a program under Accelerated Bigyan program of ACRB DST, Government of India. In the poster session today, we have amongst us we have amongst us Swami Suparnanandaji Maharaj. On behalf of the organizers and all the participants, we welcome Maharaj with our pranams in this session. Swami Suparnanandaji Maharaj was the principal of Ramakrishna Mission Residential College, Narendrapur, West Bengal. For almost 27 years, his discipline was economics. And I'm very fortunate, during his tenure, I was a student there. So we became a bit personal and was exchanging our pleasantries. He also served the Ramakrishna Mission Ashram, Narendrapur, a very big organization, as the secretary of the Ramakrishna Mission Ashram, Narendrapur for 3 years. Then he moved to the Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Culture. You can see the figure above, a very well-known institute, Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Culture, Golbagh, Kolkata, as the secretary since 2013. With this very brief introduction, once again, on behalf of all the participants here, I welcome Maharaj for his talk.
Thank you.
The floor is yours, Maharaj. Please.
Om Janoning Sharadang Deving Ramakrishna Jagat Guru Pada Padmitayo Sriktva Pranamami. Dear Anindo and other participants, dignitaries, and the viewers, I first express my gratitude to the coordinator, Dr. Anindo Bose, who is also my student at Narendrapur College, for the invitation that he accorded to me to speak on a topic which has become more or less very usual: value, education, ethics, yoga, and meditation. He had fixed up the topic, and I did not change. I gladly accepted his verdict or his decision on the choice of the topic. Before entering into the subject, I very much like to tell you the situation under which we are compelled to keep one program in any of the seminars dealing with any topic of any discipline, this value education and the allied topics, allied subjects related. Why? This is a program on sensor technology. Though I know a little bit of it because we have been using it for less consumption of electricity here extensively, but since my knowledge of the subject is not that deep, I would not say anything about it, and I will tell you the situation under which we are compelled to keep one such program in almost all discussions going on all over India. Why? Because there is a definite relation between individual and society. Mind that. Now, if we produce from our educational institutions the individuals, mind that, who are self-centered, who are aggressive, ambitious, greedy, and competitive, can we have a society which we have all been planning for, very non-violent, peaceful, cooperative, and harmonious? So if the individuals are all self-centered, aggressive, ambitious, greedy, and competitive, how can we have a society which would be non-violent, peaceful, cooperative, and harmonious? Mind that we all have been looking for a peaceful society. All our discussions actually boil down to that aspect. We are all doing so in our respective field of, say, interest and, I should say, excellence areas. But ultimately, we are concerned very much about this society, which has gone almost out of repair. We have to carefully repair it. How can we do that? It is a fact that if individuals are transformed, then society is transformed. And it is education that transforms the individuals. Hence, this education is the main engine of social transformation. So, given this knowledge or information, let us see what we are doing in our universities, colleges, and schools. How do we rate our performance of an institution? We rate it good, better, best, or worst. What are the desiderata we are considering? What are the facts? We see mainly the results of the students, and we particularly note that the students that are passing out must be intelligent, knowledgeable, hardworking, efficient, disciplined, smart, successful, and capable of taking up leadership in society in the near future. Accordingly, we select the best institute in the country or in a locality. And we know such base institutions are not less in number, the group of institutes, and the parents are running amok to get their sons and daughters admitted into such schools. Only because the students would pick up some qualities. Which are these qualities? I told you: intelligence, knowledge, efficiency, discipline, smartness, success, leadership, this and that. But mind that Adolf Hitler had also these qualities and nothing more. Then it confessed that are we producing or creating little Hitlers from our educational institutions? Where is that love, that compassion, that sacrifice, that service, that concern for others? This is the first thing that appears to us very much serious, and that is why we keep some program to make our boys and girls knowledgeable so that they can face the life squarely and have lasting peace in their life. So this is the need of the hour. Since this is a seminar organized by Physics Department, I am prompted to tell you a very interesting story that happened to a physics teacher in a school. This has been cited by the most revered Swami Suparnanandaji, the 13th president of our order, Ramakrishna Math. He was a great orator and thinker. He visited almost all the continents and more than 250 countries. Such an important speaker that Swami was. He narrated one incident. A teacher of physics was explaining the properties of matter to the teenagers in a class. It was about now the third law of motion of Newton, which in the simplest form is actions and reactions are equal and opposite. Actions and reactions are equal and opposite. Fortunately, the best boy in the class was found inattentive, utterly inattentive, disturbing the class without stop. No warning on the part of the teacher produced any result. And the teacher, being very much disgusted, went up to him and slapped. That mischievous boy at once stood up and demanded, "Sir, this is your action. What reaction do you hope to receive? We expect." Naturally, the teacher was taken aback and realized the boy was deliberately waiting for this moment to come up. The teacher was very much intelligent. He was waiting for this moment when he would catch me that way. Teacher reprimanded him, saying, "I am speaking about the properties of matter. Are you a matter? The boy was amused to retort, Sir, is there matter only in the world? Serious charges. All the teachers of physics have been teaching these properties of matter like this. But they did never expect such a question from their students. The teacher got perplexed as he dissolved the class and confessed candidly that he didn't know the answer as to what were the properties of man. When you define a matter, we say these are the qualities. So this is a wristwatch. This is the glass. This is bird. This is creeper. This is a tiger. This a fish. So everything we have defined, but not ourselves. We have defined everything that we see on earth minus ourselves. What are the qualities that a man should have? What are the properties that a man should have so that he could be called a man? If he behaves like a tiger, then he is a beast. So you see, and the teacher discovered, but not a single teacher in the school did know the answer. And he discussed the matter with his seniors also, but could not find a definite answer. What are the things that a man should possess so that he could be called a man and not anything else? In our educational system, nobody had defined a human being. Nobody had defined. That is, the object of our study has been, the subject of our study has been the universe around us and not ourselves. We know everything else minus ourselves. That's why our scriptures proudly proclaimed, Atmanam Vidhi, know thyself. You are knowing everything else around you. You left yourself unexplained, undefined. Why? After coming to know that the answer was not available from the teacher, in the class the boy stood up and said, Sir, you know the properties of matter only, but man is more important than matter. You have been pursuing to resolve this issue at the material level for the past thousands of years. You do not care to know the things a man shall possess. You, sir, slapped me, good. But the kind of reaction you expect from me is not exactly equal and opposite. You didn't expect that I would also slap you. And if it is done, it has to be equal in weight. Weight must be the same. It is not feasible. Why? That reaction may not be equal and opposite. There is a completely different rule. I may retaliate or may not even. On the contrary, I may lie prostrate before you, seeking pardon, and thus becoming your lifelong obedient student. Jesus blessed those who tormented him. For the highest man, this always happens. They blessed the enemies. They took up the sins of others on them, like Jesus and suffered. This freedom a man must enjoy. But for matter, a reaction is always there, equal and opposite. That is, man is not free to behave. Sorry, man is free, is free. Man has freedom to choose the reaction. But matter does not have that freedom. This is the value we need to enshrine in our bosom. We are to be made conscious that we are all men with certain human qualities. We inherit and enhance their intensity, or else we are divorced from the citadel of royal throne meant for men. We are grouped among the animals. And distance between men and animals are these values. So that's why we keep one such program. Mind that. Now, I'm going into the theme, the topic in depth. In deep, we need a value-based life. It is clear from these two examples in the beginning. It is clear that we need a value-based life. A reason is very much known to us. Today, the huge size of the crime wave and armed violence is symptomatic of our ethical degradation. It has spread to contaminate almost all walks of life. If an economy is reeling under a recession, it can be revamped quickly, but moral decadence cannot be cured for centuries. Why is it so? Because people are taught to enjoy financial gain and self-promotion by any means, when we in general honor the culprit and the wicked. Mind that. We in general honor the culprit and the wicked if they are in power. You get it from the panchayat level to the highest office at the center, everywhere. We honor the culprit, the wicked, if they are in power. But unfortunately, not only that, we unfortunately ignore and avoid the honest people and their activities. Elimination of the perception of guilt from the modern mind is simply disturbing. A modern mind might have committed some mistakes, some sins. You have no right to point out that to them. That's why to say elimination of the perception of guilt from the modern mind is simply disturbing. Even perversions is accepted as normal and moral. The renowned lawyer Noni Palkiwala observed, people now cohabit without any compunction. Marriage as an institution has almost failed in the Western countries. The waves have already started hitting the western shores of the Indian Ocean and crawling eastward. Very seriously. Values are used as a substitute for virtues, morality, and ethics. Our topic is values, value education, ethics, yoga and meditation. So in ethics, that is morality. I will distinguish between ethics and morality. Ethics and moralities are not one and same. Morality and ethics are different concepts. Just a word about the difference. Morality is a way of life, the right or good way of living. Without morality, sound culture, viable social and spiritual life are not feasible. Ethics is an intellectual discipline, its goal being to gain knowledge of moral problems and their possible solutions. So ethics is the study of moral life. Ethics is the philosophy of morality. Kindly remember this difference between ethics and morality. So morality you have to live. Ethics you have to study only. Study of the moral life is called ethics. The term value entered into the philosophical arena through economics. Value in use is known to the economists, because I belong to that discipline, as the capacity of an object to satisfy desire. And the value in exchange, value in use, and value in exchange is the exchange value of money. Christian religion says love of God is the absolute value. Love for man is an instrumental value. Through love for man, you can get to that love of God. Instrument. Loving man is an instrument. But the Indian culture has given us a very systematic and concrete treatment of the subject. Values here have no connection with the values of potato, fish, vegetables, and other daily necessities. We are concerned with what value or importance we are ready to give to honesty, truthfulness, sacrifice, service, love, patriotism, and so on and so forth. These are moral values. We have also social values, aesthetic values, and so on. All for making our life some life. They are not for physical growth, mind. They're all for mental development, intellectual development, and obviously for spiritual development. I shall come to that. The four values or purusharthas we talk of, we get it from our scriptures. We all know dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. These are the four values. And within these four values, we have covered almost everything that we have to speak about on the values. So morality, dharma means morality. Artha means wealth. Kama means sensuous pleasure. And moksha means liberation. We shall briefly dwell on each of these. First, dharma, righteousness or morality. It is based on right work. Ethics is the code of conduct promoting virtue and character. It acts with wisdom and understanding of right and wrong. It cultivates a clear intellect, never mixing truth with falsehood. It has the power to appreciate virtue and morality. If you are honest, then you can appreciate virtue and morality. If you are cruel, if you are filled with animal qualities, you cannot appreciate any of these moral values, which is right and wrong. You are confused about that. So dharma has the power to keep artha and kama at bay. Most important thing. Why this dharma? This dharma because next comes artha and kama. Artha You have to earn and enjoy, because money can buy the things you want to enjoy. But here you have to take along. While earning, you have to take along dharma. Earnings are to be made through honest means. And enjoyment of every bit of inordinate desire has to be eschewed, given up. Similarly, kama, or desire, fulfillment of desire. You have to fulfill your legitimate desire only with the dictates of dharma. These three goals, dharma, artha, and kama, are working at the body, mind, and intellect levels. This helps attain productive efficiency. So our scriptures do not say that you don't have any need of these three. Go and try to guide your life for the final goal, liberation or moksha, mukti, not that. It is also necessary. In our education, practically education gives us this artha, dharma, and kama, but it has to be harmonized. We are having education nowadays, which can give us enough light about how to earn artha and how to satiate, arthat, satisfy our desire. Means do not have any desire to have dharma with you. Means you don't care. Means nothing. And be satisfied with productive efficiency. And the goal of education has been to make you efficient member in society. That you have to contribute something positive. Otherwise not. But beyond these three layers is the highest tier. Its goal is to attain moksha, liberation. Freedom from repeated births and deaths. Okay, we have listed three tiers, three levels, A, B, and C. Dharma, artha, moksha. This is called three, dharma, artha, kama, three tiers, three levels, and fourth one is moksha. That's why it is called Chaturvarga. Chaturvarga, four values. First three, kama, dharma, artha, when these are inculcated, mind that, the nation becomes truly a welfare state. But only kama and artha are the goals for the state policy. The state is secular one, living in the world of facts only, respecting no value because people are selfish and they live for the love of greed. So of these four values, the Western countries, they take up only the first two, artha and kama. Artha and kama. And what is the result? The state is a secular one, and the state is also living in the world of facts only. There is no respect for the values because people are selfish and they live for the love of greed. It is like an animal state. There is a kind of high civilization, no doubt, like Ravana's, but no culture at all. Living in a high state of civilization means living utterly a selfish life. So there is a big discussion on civilization and culture. Civilization is the growth outside, and culture is a growth within, mental growth. Anyway, the point is that India in general has accepted the three-tier value, dharma, artha, and kama. Ahimsa paramo dharma satyameva jayate. These have been the mottos. But moksha, the provision is there. That has to be there. It is there. But it has to be revamped also. State is a secular one. I do not have time to spell out the type of secularism that we have. State would not intervene. Religion of any person. That is the meaning. That should be the meaning. I should leave aside that. I keep it closed here. Now, those who, along with Kama and Kanchana, take also Dharma, attain merits, and develop culture, aesthetics, etc. But those who live also with the fourth value, create the highest degree of culture, along with the highest degree of civilization. So, the discussion on reality, along with values, is important. Our topic is values, ethics, yoga, and meditation. Mind that. Value for what? Ultimate truth we have to get to. What is real in this world? What is real in our body, in our being? I, Swami Suparnanandaji, is not real in the body. Even mind, even intellect. My body changes. So 50 years ago, how did I look at? My present students should not even believe. Even I cannot recognize my own state of existence 50 years ago or 70 years ago, or even 75 years ago. Mind that. So body, mind, and intellect, they are not real in us. Though we have a body, we have a mind, we have an intellect. So body, that we are not body. If I say that we are not body, then people would react vehemently against me. You know, it is a body. Body you can see. How can you say that body is not here? It is so here, palpable. You see. And we feel its presence when somebody hurts me, somebody speaks ill of me. So body is real only in the waking state, Jagrata Avastha. But when you go to sleep and dream, in dream your body is lying on the bed in your room, closed. But you get out of the body. How? Obviously in mind. You get out of your body in mind. That you have taken out your mind from your body. And you are moving around the world, enjoying and suffering it. which you have created in mind. The mind is so powerful, you can create. And so naturally, there is a tendency for us to create. You see, urge for creating something is very much there in each of us. If we cannot create it in the waking state, Jagrata Avastha, then in Swapna Avastha, we fulfill those urges. You remember. But if you dream, then I would just suggest that you dream so that you can see your own body lying on the bedstead. Is there anybody among the listeners who has dreamt in a way that he or she could see his or her own body lying dead or lying there? It is a definite proof that you have come out of your body as mind and see yourself. My mind. So my body, I am not the body. Amar body, my body. Amar chashma, my specs. I am not the specs. I am not the body, my body. At least in dream you feel that you have a body, you are not the body. You must not identify yourself with your body. I am not Suparananda as this figure, this stature, this body. It is not that. So what is the undying, unchanging element in me? It is not body, body is changing. Mind is also changing. Constantly changing mind. Intellect is also changing. It grows. And what is the proof that we have intellect? Everybody. If I say that you have no intellect, then you would come with a stick to hit me. You are blunt, have no intellect. You have intellect. Function of intellect is to ascertain things. Function of mind is to think only. The thought processing is done by the mind. But out of so many thoughts, only a few few are retained. Similarly, out of so many dreams, thousands of dreams, you can recollect, you can remember only a few. Because with this few only, intellect was attached. Anyway, this is the way to look at the reality. Reality is not in the physical world, body is not real, mind is not real, mind changes. And because mind is even absent from our life, in deep sleep. We sleep like a log, no outward consciousness. But we still exist. So in waking state, we exist in body. In dream state, we exist in mind and intellect. And in deep sleep, we exist neither in body, nor in mind, nor in intellect. What is that something? That something is called spirit, from which comes spirituality or spiritual life. It is no religion as such. Religion is associated with the rituals aspect of attaining spirit. That means several means. So please remember it. The spirit, Atma, that is within us. We are all one. Because we all go to sleep, and in sleep we are one with our spirit, Chaitanya, consciousness. That is the reality. And we are all divinity, we are all divine, all life is divine. So these values have no value in themselves. It is the reality the divinity behind the values that gives them power. Please remember this. All these values, ahimsa, satya, this and that, asteya, these values have no value in them. It is the reality. Reality means ultimate reality which we experience in deep sleep. We exist in Atma, consciousness, spirit. That is unchanging. Even it was there in the waking state, in the dream state, but it got mixed up. So we have to isolate it. And we see body falls off. All three or four are present in the waking state. All three, four means body, mind, intellect, and spirit, all present in the waking state. When you go to sleep, body falls off. Then when you go to deep sleep, when you dream, body falls off. When you go to deep sleep, state of deep sleep, body, mind, intellect, all fall off. Only spirit remains. That's it. So values must be rooted in the reality. The values are important because it would give you a direct experience of the real in you. And here comes yoga. Relating values to reality through meditation. There is a way. That is, your mind is your savior. It is your mind. Mind is rascal, no doubt. The culprit, main culprit is mind. But with the help of mind, you can go beyond mind. For example, with the help of water, you can cross the river. Waters are no barrier. You have to learn the kausala. You have to learn the art of swimming. Then you can cross it. So waters are supposed to drown yourself, but you can, with the help of water, cross the river if you know how to swim. That's it. Swamiji in Rajayoga says, we hear very important quotation. Be good, and be good. Taught all over the world. There is hardly a child born in any country in the world who has not been told, do not steal, do not tell a lie. But nobody tells the child how we can help doing that. Talking will not help him. Only when we teach him how to control his mind do we really help him. This calls for self-discipline in the form of self-control, self-knowledge, and inward concentration. It all may sound very queer. Yes. If you have not studied anything of it before, it becomes really difficult for you to appreciate the discussion that I have been elaborating. This would bring about in due course transformation of consciousness in the child. To teach the child how to control his mind. This is what yoga means. You have to be moral. That is the object of yoga. Yoga connects values with reality, and yoga transforms value experience into mystic experience in meditation. I will come to that later. Swami Suparnanandaji, a learned senior monk of the Ramakrishna order, has observed, yoga gives us the power to go beyond values and realize the reality. For example, in deep sleep state, we are not conscious of the values of the body, mind, and this and that. So in yoga, you are one with that state of Atman. In Samadhi. So yoga gives us the power to go beyond values and realize the reality which they symbolize. Without yoga, only values remain mere dreams of poets and preachers. The most important. If you do not practice yoga, do not control your mind. Mind wants so many things, but you have to deny to it. No, you can't ask for such thing and such thing. You won't be given. So without yoga, only values. If we discuss only values. So values also will remain mere dreams of poets and preachers. Poets and preachers. They are doing so. Yoga, as we commonly understand, has become synonymous with asana, or a posture. Asana posture. You sit on a posture. And lots of exercises are building the body. But true yoga is an inner discipline for transformation of consciousness through self-control, self-knowledge, and self-directed activity. It is not building the body. That is Hatha Yoga. Yoga deals with the control of mind. Any act, any work can be done as a yoga. Education can be done as a yoga. Pursuit of science and arts, social science, daily service to family, society, be done as yoga. That is what is the message of Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna, you have come to the war field, yes. But this war, through this war, you attain that self-control. Tasmat yogi bhavarjuna. Therefore, the teacher always whispers to the ears of the disciple Arjuna. Tasmat yogi. Be a yogi, Arjuna. Tasmat yogi bhava Arjuna. This is very, very important. Nowadays, we talk of ethos also. Some people erroneously discuss or interchangeably use values in place of ethos. Ethos in place of values. Values and ethos are not also not one and the same. Value system aims at the realization of the reality, our divine nature. Please note it. Attain to moral and ethical life. So value system aims at the realization of the reality, then Atman, divinity. All life is divine. Divinity, power is within you. It does not come from outside. So that is being realized, our divine nature. Through moral and ethical life, but that cannot be said about ethos. Since there are grave defects and drawbacks in Indian ethos. Ethos are distinguishing character, sentiment, moral nature, guiding beliefs of people. It upholds the moral temper of a nation. Some ethos contribute to the cultivation of values like renunciation, chastity, spiritual discipline. These follow from the family tradition, but because of such ethos, justice, equality, dignity of labor, collective responsibility under joint family system could not develop. The joint family system is a good thing. It is a good ethos, we say. But their collective responsibility, dignity of labor, equality, these are not being inculcated. So God-fearing and peace-loving syndrome have resulted in the aversion to taking any important ventures involving risk. Well, you should not go for any risky ventures, and also protecting our countries from foreign invasion. Oh, what would happen? The life is very short. Let them come. Let them come and exploit us. This is our lot. What could be done? That way we try to rationalize everything. This caste system, exploitation of the poor, child marriage, polygamy among the high classes, Kulin Brahmins, bride burning, corruption at all levels of administration are all due to the supportive nature of ethos. We inherited this. Even the English people could not have that courage to change. Vidyasagar Mahasaya, he had to travel a lot. And Ram Mohan Rai also, you know. We need to change the ethos drastically in order to have a prosperous India with a life-giving spiritual culture and values. So those who utter ethos in place of values, they are not, their conscience or their understanding is not so clear. Swami Vivekananda exactly did that. We need to change the ethos drastically. We are not sure. I am sure that you do not come across some such examples in Swamiji's life. But Swamiji's whole task was to change the spiritual culture, to change the ethos drastically in order to establish spiritual culture amongst us. He didn't disturb the core values of the Sanatana Dharma. Rather, he changed the detrimental ethos. He crossed the ocean, spread effectively for the first time the beautiful spiritual ideals of the Upanishads, came back triumphantly and established what? The Ramakrishna mission to protect the country from false philosophy and false ethos. Only because of him, Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma has now become a missionary religion. So many people from so many branches of Hinduism are now spreading the message of Sanatana Dharma across the world. This is all due to Swamiji. I remind you of an immediate need of society and duty of teachers in the educational field. We need to teach analytically, at least. So after listening to my words, what would you expect? What did you do in your universities and in your colleges and schools? This is being said. We need to teach analytically, at least the Kathopanishad to our students, at least one level from the Madhyamik to the PG. Kathopanishad, its content is very simple. We come across a small boy, Nachiketa, who wants to know the secret of death. The boy knows, wants to know the secret of death. Just see. Even if you have ever had any some such experience of seeing a little boy in the family witnessing the death of his or her, his grandfather, how can you console him? The little boy, for the first time, see a death in the family. How can you console him? My dad was there, my dada was there, and now he is lying there lifeless. What is life? What is death? that little boy was not born. I had the experience of that. That is a separate story. There is a little boy. He wanted to know the secret of death. Since death is certain and life is uncertain, what is there beyond death? To know this truth. He meets the god of death, a person who knows the subject. He wants the Yama, the god of death, wants to test the boy, wanted to allure him with so many things. But he was not successful. Yama was not successful. And he had to yield and disclose to him the truth beyond death. Truth is that man is mortal physically, but his spirit abides. His physical body is mortal. He is liable to die, liable to death, but his spirit, as Atman, is eternal. Our soul needs several births to perfect itself. Rabindranath Tagore has sung a beautiful song on this theme. আমারে তুমি অশেষ করেছো এমনই লীলা তব ফুরায়ে ফেলে আবার ভরেছো জীবন নব নব. With the death of the body, everything is not destroyed. I am deathless. I am endless. I have no end. আমারে তুমি অশেষ করেছো. With the death of a body in a particular life, there remain knowledge and karma follow of the deeds we did in the past. That makes our next life possible to enjoy or suffer the fruits of action, which were not exhausted or consumed in the previous birth. So we need jivono novo novo, new and new life to perfect the self. If the purpose of this life is over, then we have to go, but you will feel it again with another body. We change the body only. Our body moves, taking shelter inside, giving shelter to Atman inside. So, students must be taught this final goal of man at some stage of their studency. I here remind of Professor Arindam Chakraborty, the renowned philosopher. He told us that in the Western countries, students are made to read the trial of Socrates' life. Also his last words to the judges. In fact, in the West, Socrates apart, Socrates minus, there was none who bothered about life beyond death. He is considered the secular saint of Western civilization. There was once a declaration from the temple of Delphi that Socrates alone was Gyani, none else, none else, none else. When people heard it, they flocked to Socrates to inquire about this declaration. And Socrates observed, maybe, I do not know what has happened there, but maybe I alone know that I do not know. I am the most Gyani, knowledgeable person. That was the Akasubani, that is the prophecy made from the temple of Delphi, but I do not know all about this, but maybe I only know that I do not know. Everybody else knows that he or she knows actually. He or she does not know. So Professor Arindam Chakraborty says that this is exactly the meaning of Nochiketa. Nochiketo. Nochiketo. It is related to Chetono. The one who knows that one does not know. Professor Chakraborty says the soul freed from its bonds to the body at last achieves celestial vision. Socrates was tried and capital punishment was meted out to him. This trial was a prosecution of ideas. He was the first martyr of free speech and free thought. His friends and students requested him to leave Athens and save his life. You go away from Athens and save your life. So you have been given death punishment by the court of Athens. But elsewhere, you are free. And even the judges asked him to leave Athens and thereby bypass the punishment. What is the punishment? You all know, I have no time to spell it out. He refused that outright. He actually conquered death and told his friends before drinking the hemlock, first catch me, the real me, then ask me what to do with my body. So when you would be dead after drinking this hemlock, what would you do, Socrates, with your body? They wanted to know. And sarcastically, he laughed, smilingly said, you first catch me, the real me, then ask me what to do with my body. Do whatever you like with the body. He felt he was not the body. He was the undying spirit. While advocating the learning of the Kathopanishad at the educational institutes, in India, Professor Arindam Chakraborty advances two reasons. At least for two reasons, we must study the Kathopanishad. We must make our students know that there has been some such beautiful thing. The West has recognized Socrates as their hero. But we have a little boy, Nuchiketa, giving us the same knowledge. See, what are the two reasons? Every learner from all disciplines like architecture, business and commerce, history, art, philosophy, economics, medicine, technology, science, will have to read Kathopanishad. Not because we have to spread the Vedic civilization, but because of at least two reasons. We have to acquire that courage of speaking the complete truth against the tyrant who misuses power, number one. I repeat, we have to acquire that courage of speaking the complete truth against the tyrant who misuses power. Socrates, both Socrates and Nuchiketa did that. And we have to know that to become wealthy in the world is not the only goal before mankind. And the goal of education is not to create students who are employable only. There is still a greater goal. We must know that real purpose of human life. They were given options. They all rejected. Just see. It is highly gratifying that the greatest goal of human life was highlighted by a child here and also by an old man of several centuries apart in two countries distanced by several thousands of kilometers. Swamiji did not discourage. Swamiji did not discourage the employment aspect of education. Education must give us the knowledge to earn our bread and enjoy a lot and handle more power, but not indiscriminate. We must all be like kings or queens to rule, to use power to become number one wherever we are. So our students must go and occupy the number one place everywhere. Work, handling power, this and that. But what has to be added, as I said in the very beginning, they have to be always on guard that they are not going to be another Hitlers. They have no right to become Hitlers anyway. Just to avoid that state of thing, he must know, like the rishis of the past, to control his passion, control his anger, control his greed. So, an educated person has to combine the qualities of both king outside and rishi within. He has to be a philosopher king or philosopher queen. A king is not the full idea, he is half of an idea. Why? He troubles others, but others cannot trouble because he has power, muscle power. Similarly, a rishi is not the full of an idea. Why not? A rishi can control his own passion, control himself, but he cannot control others. So both rishi and raja, rajorshi. That is the idea. Our students have to soften power that they are going to enjoy with the law. Otherwise, without love and service, we might become like little Hitlers. Education has given you more power to handle. But this power has to be softened by invoking the spirit of love and compassion. So, what is the message? So, our real nature is divinity. We are all divine. We are no demons. We are no demons. We are all divine beings. We are not bodies, mind, this and that. How to get to that? Swami has given us a yoga, which he calls Seva Yoga, but Sri Krishna has told us, or has given us as Karma Yoga. It is Seva Yoga. You have the right to serve others because others are also divine. You have no right to exploit them. You have no right to govern them mercilessly. You have to help them. It is not competition, it's cooperation. Survival of the fittest, no, never. They are weak, they have to be served. Not that you are going to eliminate them. That is being done in the brute society. But ours is a human society. So come up with your love and compassion. Whatever wealth you have, you bring in, and with that you serve others. This is Seva Yoga. You have enough of wealth. All accumulations are for subsequent distribution. Only the fools do not see that. The fools do not see that. This is a great truth. You have to leave behind everything at death. So you have to introduce this scheme of serving people with spirit of service, spirit of sacrifice. And then, because of this meritorious act of love, your mind and body your mind would be purer and purer. And in the pure mind, the vision of the divine reflects like that. So, I will quote you a very interesting passage from Swami Suparnanandaji. We must grow spiritually. Physically growing? No. There is a time when you have touched the limit of physical growth. When you attain the maximum and then you start falling. There is fortitude. There is a limit to which we can grow in the physical world. But you have to grow spiritually. And what do you mean by spiritual growth? Are you growing spiritually? Maharaj asked. That means, can you love others? Can you feel oneness with others? Why loving others? Because you are one with others. In deep sleep, we are one with all of them. So he is Brahman, he is Shudra, he is Christian, he is Muslim, he is Jew, he is Vaishnava, he is Shakto. No such differences. Can you feel oneness with others? Have you peace within yourself? And do you radiate it around you? When there is no excessive love for desire. Peace dwells on there. Peace is there in that heart, but there is less and less of desire. So have you peace within yourself and do you radiate it around? This is called spiritual growth, which is stimulated by meditation inwardly and by work done with the spirit of service outward. This values and meditation, yoga. We are united with all through yoga by controlling mind, making mind purer, by taking up virtuous work. Virtuous work. You have to purify your mind by taking up, by making your work pure. Whatever you do with all your heart, with all your mind and spirit of sacrifice. So you are teaching in the class, professor is teaching, you are all teachers. Teach well. Look upon your students as the divine manifestations. They are sitting before you, but they are really gods and goddesses. So in the name of teaching, you are worshipping them. Your mode of teaching has been converted into worship unknowingly. You do not know that. The work becomes worship because the persons for whom you are working, they have become gods and goddesses. And moreover, the place where you have been teaching, that place has become a temple. If work is worship, then places of work would be the places of worship. So maintain purity of that place. Keep it clean. As you clean, as you keep your temples, churches, mosques clean. So that sort of philosophy Swami has developed. So you do your job in the universities and colleges and schools and this and that, or fields, in the factories, in the offices, in the courts, wherever you do, you are serving the clients, the students, the customers, wherever they are, but you are unknowingly serving gods and goddesses. But you have to be conscious about that, conscious activity. So what it means? That while you are in the field of work, throughout the day you work there. When you come back and see, and in the evening when you sit for meditation, you meditate what you have done. What you have done in the outside world will have to be confirmed by sitting in meditation in your own sweet home. That's why Maharaj says, this is called spiritual growth, which is stimulated by meditation inwardly and by work done with the spirit of service outwardly. What sort of service you are doing outside? You have to have the knowledge of that. And for that knowledge, you have to sit for meditation. That's why your title, the topic entitled Value Education, Ethics, Yoga, and Meditation. I think I have done full justice to the topic. And through Seva Yoga, whatever you have excess, enough excess wealth to distribute and to serve human beings who are suffering. If we fall prey to the path of increasing material acquisition, we will face severe competition and hostility. There will be no cooperation. In its place will prevail ruthless, arrogant, stubborn, insensitive, and cruel people. We say, you are divine. You say, no, I am not divine. Then what are you, after all? If you are not divine, are you a demon? Are you cruel? Is that your, say, a very, say, magnanimous, say, identity? Do you take credit in becoming a demon? Do you like it? Never. You are divine. You are not cruel, not insensitive. So give up stubbornness, arrogance, ruthlessness. The result is widespread discontentment and destruction of all other virtues in us. If you behave that way, we will be devoid of all virtues in us. In the light of this fact, we have to understand and accept the two great relations. I'll conclude this by letting you know the two very simple facts in our life. What? You have all understood it. You have all experienced these facts in your life. What? Number one, most events and their results, good or bad, take place in our life without our choice. And in spite of our efforts and intelligence, there is no free will for us. No freedom. Most events and their results, good or bad, take place in our lives without our choice. You could not avoid. You look back and see. You could not avoid these things. They came upon you in spite of your efforts and intelligence. So if the results be good, it is there because you say that I deserve. If bad, but you say, but somebody else is responsible. No, not that. You deserve that also. Good you deserve, bad result you also deserve. So accept that fact. This is a fact that has to be reckoned. And second thing, most important, the presence of pairs of opposites, দ্বন্দ্ব. Pairs of opposites means দ্বন্দ্ব. কি দ্বন্দ্ব? জোড়া জোড়া. They come in pairs, like pain and pleasure, happiness and unhappiness, success and failure, peace and turmoil, prosperity and poverty or misery, competition and cooperation. Sometimes you receive competition, sometimes you receive cooperation from unexpected quarters, wealth and sickness, respect and insult, love and hate. All this gives us clear indication that nothing comes to us to stay, to feel it. Nothing comes to us to stay. But when we are in the midst of success, we feel that the success will always continue with us. And when there is failure, when there is pleasure, we say pleasure will continue. We don't want to let it go easily. But pleasure will also leave you, fly. Pleasure will fly off. And instead, pain will take place. But when we are in pain, we say that, oh, as if pain has become with us, it is everlasting, it will never go. No, pain will also go. Pleasure will also go. Happiness will also go. Unhappiness will also go. But when we are in the brighter aspects of these sides, these pairs, then you pray. We have to pray simply. We live with that. In happiness or in unhappiness. We have to live with what we have got. Find that. And not to be unhappy for the lack of the rest. They won't stay for long. They'll go away. We have to develop that sort of detached mind for greater gain in life. So you have to be one with all. Nobody here is stranger. Everybody is my own. That spiritual knowledge comes through selfless service. Cease to be selfish. Grow in unselfishness and serve others. And enjoy abiding peace. Because your heart is filled with love and nothing else. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
কত বেজে গেল রে? 4টে বেজে গেল রে?
Thank you very much.
দেড় ঘন্টা হয়ে গেল তো, 1.5 ঘন্টা হয়ে গেছে।
Swami Suparnanandaji, and we used to call our teachers Dada, elder brother. So it's very difficult. So whenever I'm seeing him, I'm calling him Shottoda. That means elder brother Shottoda. So thank you very much, and our best regards on behalf of all the participants and we, the organizers, and we hope that in future also we will get you. Pranam.
Thank you.